think is in a modern run these days?
Question.
Like, do you think it's just like I know last time that we did the podcast, we were talking about Lil Baby and saying that he was on a run, and we were saying that he's on a run kind of based on appearances, the level of music that he's putting out when he's doing these appearances. We disagreed on the bigger picture just because, I mean, I think we didn't disagree on it. We just kind of all agreed it was passable in terms of an album where it's like, it's a meh. But it's just like, what do you think is in a modern run these days? Do you think it's still like the album, the freestyles, the features, like people copying off you? What do you guys think?
I think it's what you said. I think the biggest difference between now and then 10 years ago is appearances, like you said. Like if you're perceived, like I don't even know how to quantify that, but
what do you mean like appearances? What do you mean?
Like just your presence on just shit. Whether it's not basically what I'm saying, I don't think it's all down to music anymore, I guess, right? It's more so like social media, like marketing, like your Instagram.
How many times do you get in front of somebody's face?
To be fair, marketing has changed because if you think about it though, back in the day, like way back, even if somebody was on a run, if they want to run like in the 90s, they'd be on the cover like Vibe, XXL, maybe the Swords or something like that. So it is like it's just different. I understand what you're saying.
So
like,
I guess that's what I'm saying. Usually, when we're used to, we grew up, somebody would either drop a great mixtape. Like when we were in college. Or before that, they would just have like a hot song that would boil up on the streets and they get signed. And then be so. I don't know if niggas nowadays like have great songs. Like, if Lil Baby, this is what I use. If Lil Baby, we went to a Lil Baby concert, what is the song that we're waiting to hear the entire show? He's gonna close out with. I guess. You might be right. But like, what's that song that he's gonna play? I was like, yeah, I can't wait for him to play it. This is his song. This is his In the Club. This is his
I mean, you just gotta think about it. His.
But I don't think anybody has that type of.
No, but I think that he does have those songs for the people in the generation under us. Like they're like, some of those songs are the Indie Club for them. But to us, like who grew up with Indie Club and who grew up with Drake and Jacob, like we're not gonna look at his single. Like we can't even listen to him like that. And that's no knock. But like his impact, yeah.
I'm glad you said that because it's a generational thing. I don't want to admit that, but I think definitely that's why I can't keep up with all this shit nowadays. Because honestly, I like a lot of Lil Baby songs, but I couldn't tell you the names of all the songs I like. They're just on my phone. So
we get so much music now.
To be fair, I was gonna say, but even though we say like, what's his In the Club? All right, cool. We're actually at the age where we really are in the club. Like, what song by him then are we looking for? Just in general.
Or but think what's about his back that ass like a big like because what you said last week, he's on like a run like what we would think like a Drake was on, or those are like big names. So to me, to have that type of run, you have to have a big song or a big album that's gonna stand the test of time. I just don't know, does Lil Baby have that?
So no, he doesn't. He doesn't have a big album for sure.
Not album, but he has big. Just think about when we was out like last weekend. Like we heard several Lil Baby songs, and that to me, and just taking it back to like what I think a run is. I think a run, and it's like it has changed because now we have social media. Now there's more ways for people to see your face. But I think that was the core of the run, not necessarily like the album was a good piece. The album was like kind of like the final part of it, or like some people did a movie like 50 Cent and is like as a part of his run he had the Get Rich or Die Trying movie. Like that used to be the end part back in the day. But like a lot of times it's just like being on everybody's shit. Like it's not a song, not a popular song you don't really see without them. And that's where I was going with Lil Baby. For the last year plus, like you saw him like all over the place on everybody else's song. We heard him on several songs in the club. Like it's not even just like on some straight hip hop shit. Like he's like literally a lot of the hits you hear are with him. Like to some extent, he's on everybody's album. Like to me, that's what a run is. And
it's just different.
Yeah, that piece at the core, like as far as like being on everybody's shit, being all over the place, that goes back. I mean, how you're in everybody's face has changed. But like even with Lil Wayne, that's why I compared it to his run. He was on everybody's shit at that point. Like it wasn't a project that you didn't hear. It wasn't a hit you didn't hear with Lil Wayne.
But he also had. So yeah.
But he had albums.
That's the part
that's different.
You can be on a run.
Yeah. He cashed out on albums.
Like
and mixtapes.
You can be on a run, but that doesn't make you like one of the 10 years from now, Lil Baby he might be, I don't know. Is he gonna be like a GOAT?
I think, well,
to these young niggas,
he might be.
I was gonna say like an example kind of to mirror that is maybe like a Future in a way.
Future definitely had a run.
Future was like a prime example of somebody that was on everybody like club.
Future had one of the
biggest. Either he was doing the chorus or he was on, the first jump. and to this day he still is. But his albums, like I can't. Well, you know,
You
what?
know,
I
I'll
a couple
I'll
albums
say
like
Dirty
like
Sprite,
He
Monster.
cashed out on
Dirty
Dirty
Sprite
Sprite
too.
too.
Sprite
That's
too.
a
You got
classic.
Monster. There's definitely some classics.
And then
That was a
the one
classic
with Drake.
That's the prime example of
Actually,
somebody
yeah, that is the run. The run is
That's
the
a
run
classic
is the
run.
3 mixtapes
Yeah.
leading into DS2. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
He
Go ahead.
cashed out.
So
that was a
that's a
classic.
prime example of somebody that was on everything
Mhm.
and made your song 10 times better if it was on he was on your hook, he was on your chorus, and then he was like, and then he had a awesome album or
And
a run.
concert too.
And
with
concert too.
So I guess
so.
And that was, I think, that was actually what I was going to say. Another part of the run now, the modern day run that we don't think about. Everybody that does like a modern run ends up doing a collab album with somebody. If you want to run, you end up just putting something together
And
with
Drake and
somebody
Future
else.
said that blueprint.
And
So I'm thinking Lil Durk is kind of on a little mini run in a way. He
Well, I
on
would say
everybody
Lil
though.
Baby more so be on
But
the
no,
run
I'm just
than
saying Lil
Drake.
Durk
I
is
got
out
you.
on a lot of stuff,
He is.
and then now when they made the collab album.
And that's kind of what the mod. That's what the modern blueprint.
So I
is.
guess, yeah.
Even with Wayne starting that with Father Like Son.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
good point.
Yeah, but that
You know, I
was-
never really looked at Baby
But,
as a.
fair, but that was around the time when Lil Wayne was still like hot as fish grease. Like Lil Wayne was one of the hottest rappers.
That's true.
Hottest
That's
fish
true.
grease. Yeah, Lil Howard, man.
You want a nigga
That
that one of the highest.
cornmeal.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, how does fish grade?
I don't know. I mean, I don't. What's
no,
the bigger run than that?
that was when Lil Wayne was on that the drought
The
drought
only-
one too.
the only
That
comparable
man
run
said,
is
so soft.
it's probably 50 Cent's run before that, but I think
That
I was a
conversion
little
from
too young.
G Unit was also
Yeah,
another group.
but before
album.
that, he had like a million mixtapes. I didn't listen to the mixtapes. I was too young to listen to the
Yeah, I
mixtapes.
went hip to mixtapes.
So, but I guess what I'm saying is like, there's like, we're talking about a run,
Mhm.
which is good, but I guess I don't know what the other term for it, because people be on runs, you know what I mean? But like, is Lil Baby gonna be like Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick was in last generation?
No.
That Omega level.
So one
top
thing
dog.
I will
Yeah.
say, like, there's a difference between a run and there's a difference between like kind of this is cool,
You're-
but a reign. Like it's
Yeah.
a difference between a run and a reign. Like
Yeah.
Drake, J. Cole, like
Drake's
they don't
like-
have to put. I mean, Drake puts out an album every single year, but he doesn't have to like put out a single all the time. Like he's just good. Like that's why you said he's kind of like above a run. Like a lot of them like ended up being above a run, but like there's some people like. Even like going in R&B, there was T-Pain had a run.
That's what I'm saying.
What's his name?
Akon?
Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap had a run. Akon had a run. Like,
Yeah, baby.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
Like,
you got to turn that run into a range.
yeah, you
That's
have
what the
to
question
cash
is.
out
So,
on that. Yeah.
That's the thing though. So like you talking about a run and a rain.
Mhm.
See the problem is like that maybe Lil Baby may face, or maybe he's trying to figure out is that trap music is never going to be something that's ever going to get you a reign. Like he's literally only talking about like I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Look at Future. Future literally out.
You don't think Future has a reign now?
Future had a. He,
No.
he came
I'm just
close.
saying, like he's transit. I'm talking about somebody that transitioned from just straight trap niggas and all that shit, and then now it's all straight toxicity, all that type of shit. No, listen.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like,
Content's about the same.
I'm just saying, you can't win off that. You can't just all talk about
I
trap.
think
and
Future
shit.
did.
Huh?
I think
Future probably made it the biggest
Bro,
out of all
so-
them trap niggas.
Let's
next to
let's
Gucci.
just break it down right to here. Future did a song for The Gap with Cher, nigga. Like, you don't really
You don't
talk
get
that.
paid
Drake
for
don't got a
I
song
think
with
Future
Cher,
got
bro.
a reign, bro. I think he did
That summer, like when you saw Beast
I'm not saying he has a rank.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
saying, like,
You have
for
a
Lil
comeback.
Baby, like, you have to be marketable to have a reign, because at some point,
He
your
was doing
music
what you're saying.
only can just get
It's
you so
harder to
far.
do it with trap music, what you're saying, as opposed to being like J. Cole.
But I-
What
Not
trap
only
nigga?
music,
What
not
trap
only
nigga do we
music,
know?
not
Other
only
than
music.
Future.
I will
Future.
say though, like I
Maybe
forgot
not.
what.
But even Future though
Yeah.
is not somebody that I think is like a marketable feature. I mean,
But
like,
Lil Baby's been on more.
do y'all feel
commercials.
like Future could go internationally and go somewhere and sell out a
maybe.
crowd?
Maybe.
Like confident.
Define crowd.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about
Because
that
everybody
stadium.
ain't selling out O2.
Oh, a stadium.
I'm just talking like say he goes to
J. Cole
England, or he
can't
goes
do
to
that.
he goes to London or
That's
some
what you
shit.
said.
He goes to London. It's like Drake. Drake can go to
Oh,
London and
no,
sell
no,
that
no.
bitch out.
But no, yeah,
That's
no,
what I'm
he's
saying.
not on that level.
So
no.
that
But
was
I think he's
saying.
right.
That's not-
Alright, fine. That's like
Because
reserved
the
for,
trap
like,
is only
kings, bro,
the
like-
trap only takes you so far. Is what I'm telling you.
I think Future. Okay, I see what you're saying. It's harder to do. But I think Future done it the best out of everybody.
For sure.
No, he has. He's got the.
But Lil
Maybe
Baby
Thug
got
can
so
do it.
far, huh?
Maybe Thug can get there.
Because Thug has transcended. Because now he's into fashion. He's an icon.
He was on that song with that girl's name?
Oh,
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lil Baby hasn't really done it, and that's why I
Yeah.
kind of always made the argument in the last episode the baby is starting to position himself in that way too.
Baby
Because
got songs to say.
like you have to be multi.
But I don't
you have to
think
be in a
I
box.
see what you're saying. That the baby
He's playing a
he's
long
on
game.
the path. I don't know if the baby has like the foundation that Lil Baby has yet.
Yeah, no.
From
Lil
a hip hop standpoint, he doesn't.
Exactly.
But from a artist and an artiste standpoint, he is ahead of the game.
The
with
baby
Lil
will say yes before Lil Baby will.
for sure.
He took the Ja Rule path.
I mean, Lil Baby's doing that. I mean, he was with Nancy Pelosi. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You see him everywhere. Like he was
He's
at
trying.
every award show,
He's
all that
trying.
type of shit.
So who's gonna be the next J. Cole?
Well,
who's gonna be next
To be
King? Next
fair,
Kings?
though, that's the hard part about it. Because they-
Can
it-
somebody be that? now?
It all changes because honestly, I think like Malika said it last time. It was like, yo, Roddy Ricch was on the same wave like a year ago. Like people was talking about, excuse me for being antisocial or those type of things like that. And it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe Roddy Ricch that guy. Roddy Ricch won a Grammy like 2 years ago, I think, for the song with Nip. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe he's the guy. And then like, you know, music just changes. Like, yeah, what you're saying is, it's that's why it's so hard
There's
to
so
figure
much
out what is on a
competition,
run.
that's
It's,
the
That's what this is my hot take. I don't
These
think.
numbers get made in the lab.
I think music now and just content in general, whether it's everybody has a podcast, what the joke is now, right?
Mhm.
I think in
everybody got out.
entertainment and like content creation, it's not necessarily about appealing to the widest audience. I think now everybody's just like, I'm gonna get my fan base,
I'm gonna get
and they will rock
That's
with
it,
me
that's it.
forever. And I
Yeah.
think that's what so NBA YoungBoy has. They love him.
He got caught.
They was playing Broadway at somebody's funeral, man.
Rob, like,
That's
so like I don't know if we're
sad.
gonna have kings like that next year. They just might have their fans, and their fans just gonna ride with them, and that's just.
I feel like you do. I feel like we still do just because of the way that like music is in general. In music, you'll always have kings, but also in hip hop, unlike most, I feel like hip hop, unlike most sports, is the most competitive. Like hip hop is like a sport. You think of rock music, you don't usually think of like people competing. You think of everybody being able to coexist. When it comes to hip hop, you strictly think of it as, all right, who win the chip? Who gonna be the guy this year? I feel like based on the strength of that, we will always have someone who will feel like the king. Like what you're saying is true. Everybody will be able to cultivate the fan base, but everybody, just because of how hip hop is built, will always want someone to be the best. We'll
Who's the
always-
king?
I think the
Is a
parameters
competitive
will
thing.
change though. I think the bar
that's-
has changed because like back when it was at its purest like competitive nature, like who had the best bars, like that's kind of what it really was. Who was the best rapper? Even in J. Cole, Drake in their era, that's who was the better rapper of the three of them, and Nicki Minaj. Let me not leave her out of there. But like now, it's not necessarily like about bars necessarily.
the
It's
whole
about
thing.
production.
It's
It's about the
about
production.
Yeah,
Who has the
it's
best
just-
production?
who's the
team?
most entertaining?
Who's the most? It's
yeah.
entertainment at the day. It's like who has the best production.
So
team.
there could be a king, but it might not be for in the typical sense that we're used to. It might be a king of who's the most
And
entertaining.
that's why
person.
it could also end up being.
That's why
That's
Travis
why.
Scott is so held it. I mean, held it.
Damn, he might be the answer actually.
He
I
actually probably might be the
still
nigga that we not thinking
I
about.
still keep him in the same era as J. Cole and Drake and all that.
If you want to look at some nigga like, you look at somebody as an icon,
Bro.
it's Travis Scott.
Because dude, Travis Scott did a whole. He was selling. I went to see his
He
ass.
got a whole
Can I say he's
McDonald's menu.
Can I say he's
Drake
this
only got
generation's Kanye? Is
Huh?
that what he is? This
Well,
generation's
but
Kanye?
I still-
is that what,
but I still-
I mean, when we,
I still think he's in the
generation,
old
though?
generation though.
Because I feel like he's in ours.
Yeah,
too.
he's-
But I feel like he bloomed late.
But his,
though.
but no, yeah, because like my
The
little
real
brother.
Charlie.
Oh, we
Yeah.
loved him though, but he was doing
But
like.
my little brother.
I didn't.
Y'all didn't like?
No, I mean, I just wanted to hear.
I
I wasn't
you
big
talking about
on
Al
it.
Farrell or whatever?
Huh?
You talking about the little Al Farrell
about Days of
whatever
Rodeo?
or whatever?
Yeah, Days of Rodeo, like
Yeah,
all that
yeah,
shit,
yeah,
with
yeah.
sloppy toppy, all that shit.
I'm not gonna lie, my little brother and his generation love Travis Scott. But I still feel like he's in.
That's because he's transcended
Yeah.
our generation.
But-
He's gone into that because he's more out there to that generation.
That's what I was gonna say. In terms of like who we talking about, it's like yo, we keep saying the word king, and it's like yo, it
I
may
think
not
he's
even
one.
be kings. It may.
Like that.
And I was gonna say it may honestly end up being like the women rappers. The women rappers end up making themselves far more presentable, and they sell to more masses in terms of the
That's
social
a really good
media
point.
thing that we talk about. Megan Thee Stallion is probably like the biggest rapper there is right now in terms of just who's gonna be all over the place, who people are
I'd say
marketing
Cardi.
behind. I don't consider Cardi B a
Cardi,
rapper
no.
anymore. That's me personally.
Nah.
I consider
I
Cardi
think
B.
Cardi
a
B
She
king.
had
got
a
flowers.
run. She
She
had a
got her
run.
flowers and say, I'm
Bro, I
good.
literally think
I
if
don't
she
think
dropped
she said
out,
she
bro,
I think he said
she'd be on fucking. Bro,
I
she-
said she
she's
said
on fucking Entertainment Tonight. Like if she dropped the album tomorrow, it'd be the
Yeah,
biggest.
She's very
thing.
popular.
Fair enough,
She
you
probably
would.
I
won't
don't
be.
know. That's a lie because Up is some shit. And why all the
wait.
So the thing is, when Up came out, I was like,
Right.
this is gonna be a real good
We're
barometer
outside.
to see what the temperature.
We're
No.
outside.
I want to see what the temperature.
It was a pandemic.
Look,
I'm
I'm
glad
with you.
you-
I
Oh
don't.
my
I'm
God. Y'all giving her a pass.
wait.
I like that
I'm
video.
with you. I don't really think those songs are that good. But at the same time, if I'm inside, that's not what her music
She
is to be
also
enjoyed.
was able to perform that on the Grammys and was able to hump Megan Thee Stallion on the stage. Mulatto wouldn't be allowed to do that. Cardi B was allowed to, no questions asked.
Mulatto on her way.
Mulatto
Look,
on
shout out
her way.
to
So
Big
like,
Lotto.
let's be real here.
Shout out to Big Lotto.
Mulatto. tripping.
On her way to what?
What do you mean?
Oh,
She's
she-
literally
she-
about to be
she's
what
really
you made.
good.
Fucking rap.
She's
She's
really
a
good.
female.
I mean, okay, but that doesn't belong in this conversation. No offense, but
I learned
No,
it.
she's on a run of her own. I'd say.
she ain't on
a lot.
she don't got no songs like songs. I'm not saying she's not popular,
Her
but
album was good too, actually.
I listen to that album
Sure.
still to this day, and I can't say that she's on the run, but
It's a good ass album.
I did like it. I'm not saying I didn't like it, but I mean, for
It's
what
a
we're
fucking
for
good
what
album.
we're talking about right now, she ain't really she ain't there yet. Honestly, the name kind of.
Man,
All y'all
I
girls-
think I'm just a-
all y'all girls have a favorite Lotto song. My girl don't even know
No.
what that is. So
Okay,
My
I
girl-
get it.
my girl just knows
I get it, but you
Lotto.
also
That's
gotta
what I mean.
remember,
That's
Cardi
what
B had a head start in terms of being on Love and Hip Hop and all this other type of
Count
shit.
that was
Count.
that was
I'm just saying,
How
like,
many aspiring
that was an
rappers on
anchor
Love
in
and Hip
Hip-Hop.
Hop
That was
stand
a-
up?
I'm just talking about, we want to talk apples to apples.
That was in that case, her and Jocelyn had the same
I'm about to
start.
say that was a strike against her.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't listen to any of her first couple
Did
mixtapes.
you
We
listen
knew
to
who
Gangsta
she
Bitch
was.
music? I did. Nobody else did.
I
We knew
listened
what
to
she
the second
was
one
when she
and
came
then-
out, and we were like,
Listen to
oh
both.
shit, like,
They're
this is
right.
like,
Bro, I
it's
didn't
the same
start.
jump.
I didn't start paying attention until Bodak Yellow got hot.
Right.
To be honest with you,
Yeah, it's
I didn't even like that song the first time I heard it.
You think how many people watch Love and Hip Hop? Y'all, the average niggas, like, y'all.
Bro, what does Jocelyn sell?
I'm about to say.
What is
They all had
Ryan
some
Williams
inspiring rapping.
What does Carly Red sell?
No, but I'm saying if Jocelyn was
Ryan
good,
Williams,
it would have
first
took it
lady
off
of
just as much as
entertainment.
Cardi though. But Jocelyn's some shit. Just like what the fuck.
All
All I'm saying is Love and Hip Hop.
Cardi
Already
B
had
transcended
people's
love
head.
and hip hop.
Yeah, she.
No, I'm saying she transcended. I'm just talking about that was a primer.
Okay, I'll give you that.
To be fair, I'll tell you why it's not a primer. Most people that watch Love and Hip Hop don't respect the music.
That's
of
what I'm
anybody
saying.
that's
That's what I'm
Love and
saying.
Hip Hop.
Exactly.
I've been watching it for years.
Gucci Body Pop.
I like- I like-
them tags. Pop them tags.
I like Cardi B. Like I liked her. I liked her.
Was Benzino.
Oh, Cardi Red.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's terrible.
I liked Cardi B. I liked her Instagram videos when she first started.
Her
Those were funny.
personality was.
I didn't
what
like
brought
her music because I was like, she's only loving hip
I
hop.
don't consider Cardi B
Yeah.
a rapper to this day. I consider
That's
her
what. That's what
personality
still
a
brings
brand.
her to the front.
Cardi B
Right.
is a
Concerts.
Cardi B is a brand. That's why.
You said her concerts are terrible?
We saw.
What you mean? We
She's
went
an
to
amazing performer.
She performed butt ass pregnant at fucking.
I remember.
That performance was like short, but that's.
But she cooked that. She was pregnant. She was doing the move. She killed that shit. Wow.
She be doing a lot. She be doing.
Maybe I was distracted by all the trash around me.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Okay,
It was a
whatever.
dirty.
But in the meantime, so yeah, it could just end up being a woman that ends up being on these bottom runs and stuff like that. They're just more.
But that's what Mulatto is not on, bro. I'm sorry. She doesn't fit the
She
crowd.
had-
He did. No.
I was like of her own. She's on a run of her own.
Who's on the
So
run?
is Young Nudie.
No, he's
I'm
not.
joking with
It's
you.
equivalent. I mean,
Moneybag Yo's on the run too.
He's on a mini run right now.
I think he's on a run.
So the
really
problem
run.
with so alright.
Because you
Moneybag Yo, when you say a run, but was y'all with? So like, alright.
Wait, Malik.
Are you about to
people-
say-
I'm about to get upset
Oh my
because
God.
He's
I'm about to get really
Let him
upset
gatekeep.
Wait.
Let him gatekeep.
Why?
because y'all say Moneybag Yo was on a run. Y'all only saying that for the last 2 albums, but like the last
Wait,
5 that he's been out,
Wait,
he's been running.
Wait,
bro.
define a
He's
run.
gate-
You
he's
should define a
gatekeeping.
run.
Just let him
You
get
should
it.
define
I'm not
a run.
gatekeeping, but it just really,
Oh,
it
wait,
really
so you
upsets me.
Alright,
when
yeah,
niggas
so what's
do
the
shit.
run? What's the
Define
run
a
to you?
run.
He's right. What's
Yeah.
the run to you?
I need at least like 3-4 albums, like.
That's a long. 3-4 albums can take
That's
4
like
years.
3
bro.
years.
That's
Bruh, no, not necessarily, because
That's
Moneybag
weird.
Yo put out motherfucking
Bro,
2 or 3
I'm
albums. in a
sorry,
year,
I just
bro,
started
like,
listening to him in the last
but it
year. I'm
pisses me
sorry,
off
man.
because,
I'm
like,
sorry.
why y'all saying that's a
Bro,
run when he's been
but
fucking
bro,
good for all
None
this
of
fucking
us are
time?
taking this away from him. But the niggas that you need to ensure a run are the casuals. You need the niggas like us
Bro,
who
nobody
are
was
not
listening to
shit
J.
down.
Cole. I was in J. Cole since the warm up came out in 2009. He
We
was
all were listening to him, so like,
Nobody
let's not try
in the world was-
bro, let's not try to put Moneybag Yo and J. Cole as underground rappers that no one knew. Like, come on, bro. Like,
they were.
That's what it was.
we were listening to J. Cole.
You didn't
in high
even like
school.
J. Cole in high school. You
I
made
didn't-
fun of me.
But it's not like, but no. But I still heard him though. I didn't like him because it was either you Drake or J. Cole or Kanye, or maybe even Lil Wayne.
I mean,
I picked my side, but I knew who he was.
Alright, what is a run? What do you define? Like, because
3-4
3-4 albums is a lot.
and
That's
then-
career.
and then what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well,
Bro,
So
Run,
what-
we're not talking about just good music. Run is the whole thing. It goes with it.
Yeah, what do you define?
Your parents,
Completely. What do
it's
you
the
think is a
wiggle,
run?
bro. The words my man Gator off of Lil Dicky show.
Yeah.
So y'all talking about it has to appeal to all casuals?
No, I'm just saying, like, you're supposed
Actually,
to
yes, no. Actually, I will say
They're
that.
everywhere.
In terms of building a run, you do need casuals because casuals
Oh,
have to
yeah,
watch
yeah.
in order to pour it.
And it doesn't have to go out of hip hop. We're not talking about
And I'm
like.
not saying he's a crossover star, but I mean, like, yo, in order to be the #1 album in the country, which he was,
That's what I'm saying.
you need the casuals to be like,
He's
oh,
popping
hey, I heard
now.
about
People,
it.
you're, like I said, just people who aren't going out. You actively look for Money Back
that's what I'm
Yo.
saying.
Like he's it.
I found Money Back Yo because you just be everywhere.
Yeah, like
where's this
people,
guy?
people like me. I'm not gonna take anything away from it. I'm not gonna be like, I'm his biggest fan. I'm day one. Hell no, I'm not. I don't know a nigga like that. I like
Listen to
the
my first.
He wasn't the it person like
Yeah,
until this last
But
couple years.
and that's what we're saying. He on a run
That's
where it's
what
like, oh, okay, cool. The music's finally permeated to where niggas like us are like getting we're
like
able to
these are songs you hear in the club, or these are songs you hear out.
Bro,
Like,
Kanye
that's-
started dropping mixtape in 2001. Nick, I was not listening to that until we dropped College Dropout. Okay,
Right.
like I don't make.
Nigga, I was
that's when
listening
his
to-
run
I was
started.
listening to
But
Child
y'all naming
Name
other
before
skills
wasn't
shit.
cool.
Like
Nigga, his first
Money
mixtape.
Bag Yo
What was his
is
first
disrespectful.
mixtape?
Moneybag Yo is
What was his
has-
first? What was his first mixtape? It's obscure. No one knows it. But
Bro,
I understand that. But
I
I'm
listen
talking about
to
the
new- I
last
listen
2
to new
years.
music
He
every
had some
Friday,
fucking
bro.
like Heartless, like motherfucker.
I downloaded Heartless.
Come
That's
on, bro.
weird.
Who you
But
think-
it's not that. It wasn't that big.
And this nigga's a casual, like for Moneybag Yo.
You're
Just
right,
saying,
but I
like,
listen
you
to
know
all
what
Heartless
Heartless is. That's what I'm saying. Like
I have Heartless. I downloaded it.
Fine.
No,
Wait,
I'm
who
agreeing.
who would you say is it like had the best run? Because that would help me kind of understand where your thing
what?
is. Like
Historically, ever?
just this is the best
What's
run
your-
in
what's your
hip
fa-
hop.
no,
What's
yeah,
your
what's your favorite?
What's your favorite run?
Lil Wayne run of some sort.
Definitely Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne had arguably the best
And
run.
I'm not
He's
disagreeing.
my
I don't
run.
disagree.
I mean, Drake still has to catch up to Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne is no. See, wait, hold on.
I would debate y'all till I die.
Drake never stopped, so he can't really be in this conversation. He never stopped. Like Aaron said it best. He transcended that shit.
Like, the thing is,
But I will
like,
say Wayne
Lil
transcended
Wayne
it
put
too,
out
bro.
so much more
Wayne
music
did
than Drake.
transcend.
And like, if you look at it, so
Oh,
it's like a
sorry,
boxer.
yeah.
It's like a boxer's record. You look at a nigga that is 30-0 versus 100-0. Who's the better fucking fighter, nigga?
Wayne did it too. Wayne was.
It's the truth.
It is not 100 because Lil Wayne also went through that period where he was just on cunnilingus and that was it.
He was he was bored.
But
At
no,
that point.
bro.
he's talking like from 2004 to like 2009.
But
But
I'm
in
not-
jail. And that was-
Of course he transcended. Lil Wayne was arguably the best rapper at the
Yeah,
time,
but
more
I'm
than Jay-Z. Like it was Jay-Z or Lil Wayne. Like those are the only
And
two.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to take anything away from
Right.
Lil Wayne during that run. I'm just like, yo,
when we
if you
say
look-
runs, we're talking about specific. You gotta pick.
Yeah,
yours.
like,
you gotta pick.
I
yours.
feel
Yeah,
like
you can be on multiple runs
I
over
feel
different
like
times.
Drake run ain't over. I feel like Drake is like one of those dudes like Jay-Z.
Year after
He's always-
year.
he's
Since
But I'm
always-
saying, but it's like just like with Michael Jordan, you can pick
Oh,
specific
okay, fine.
periods where
Right.
like, oh,
I don't know,
like
man,
the
but I would argue.
That's
I'm
like the
the
three
world's
people.
biggest Drake fan, but I'm just saying, the motherfucker cooling off. There's some
Finally,
niggas
but
that I
I
would
mean,
no. It was some niggas that I wouldn't listen to.
I'm just saying that's a long time.
I was some niggas that I wouldn't listen to.
Yeah.
That y'all like just like out there, like Drake, like he put out Dark Lane demo tapes.
Okay,
like
fine.
was that? Come on,
was.
let's be
Yeah.
Answer the
serious.
question that
Like,
you said about who your best
Yeah,
friend
who's
was.
I said Lil Wayne.
Lil
Sure.
And I would agree with that too, actually.
I think that was the best one of
Yeah.
Lil Wayne's run was so good. I got tired of it. I got tired of it. Like
But I think we should.
Lil Wayne had me trying
But
to
he
get
also-
Lil Wayne,
But
I
that's a
think-
old run that we can't. But that's like when we knew when a run, you could easily tell what it is. You drop a mixtape, you drop it out. You drop so many great mixtapes that your album sells 8 bajillion copies the first week.
Like niggas cannot wait for your
I'm
album
about to say,
because your run is so
That's
crazy.
That in 2008, whenever Carter 3 came out, that's easily describable. Now I don't know what to say for a run from it. That's why we just argued
Because
about
we
Back
don't
Yo.
know when niggas' music is coming out. Like
Niggas don't cash out the same way because another
it's
example
streams
too.
now.
They put out so much music, so it's not like
That's what
you're
I'm
waiting on the one album or
Yeah.
you're not.
Exactly.
They put out albums
Or you,
twice a
nigga,
year.
you trying on the radio and you're like, all right, oh shit, Lil Wayne got a single out. This is a single for Carter 3 coming
Right,
out and
yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah blah.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
we've been waiting
It's
for
different now.
Certified
It's
Lover Boy for the last
Bro,
2 years.
You
Like,
just
we
told
don't
me.
know.
You just
You know
told
what I
me
mean?
Lil Baby
His
dropped
haircut
something
getting
today.
old.
Yeah, his haircut getting
Voice
real
of the
old.
Heroes.
You said Lil Baby dropped something today? It's like an actual album. What
It's
is
a
it?
joint album.
It's a joint album, so
Lil
I'm gonna
Durk.
that.
And it came out of nowhere. That's the
That's
thing.
what I'm saying, right? Like,
There's no anticipation.
They put out so much music.
Because
so
they
it's
get
not
paid
the
off
same.
for streaming.
Yeah,
That's the
no,
thing. It's not even like.
that's what I'm saying. We
it don't care. It don't
we
matter.
can't compare Wayne and 50 Cent.
What is an
and all
album?
that
An
to
album is just cool. It's for. It's actually. It's like it's a trophy. It's the streams. It's the singles.
I
That
don't
really
even know
big.
what an album is anymore, bro.
It's because they keep trying to fudge it. I mean, but that's what I was trying to say though. It wasn't that we're trying to take away from not from
Money back.
money. It's not we're trying to take away from money.
Little
Bag.
money back.
Bro, I lost track of
Little
talking about
bag.
so many people. It's not that we're trying to take away from him. Like, yo, he's a dope artist, but just like, you know, like the run is like now when it's just like, yo, he's like more mainstream hip hop. I'm not trying to say, yo, he need to go out there and do a song with pop star with BB Rhea or something, whatever, BB Rex or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you don't gotta do that. But it's like, yo, this is when it's like, oh, okay, cool. Now we see that he's on the Spotify list, and not just he's on there at like number like 25.
Yeah,
like I
he's
look
very
for him.
top.
He at the top, and it's just one of those things. And it's not like I was trying to take away from him. It's like, yo, I like the music. It's just one of those things where it's like, yo, it takes a while for it to find everybody.
We went to a wedding last weekend and they played like 2-3 Moneybagg Yo songs.
That's
That's what I'm saying.
That's
It's
what it is.
That's what I'm about to
That's
say.
what it
Everybody
is.
hits their stride at different times, and that's what's part of the run. Like Moneybagg Yo is on a really big run right now.
Yeah.
Like Moneybagg Yo can actually like make appearances and do things, and they just got to be like smaller clubs. Like, oh, Moneybagg Yo.
He can show up to a
You don't have
Lakers
to
game
just
and
go
they
to
will put the
Bliss.
camera on him.
That's
Right.
it.
I wouldn't
You
say
don't
he ain't
have
gotta
to
go to Bliss, man. Look at how high his name probably is on like a Rolling Loud concert. Like a couple
Oh.
years back, it probably would have been small. It's not gonna be the biggest
J.
name
Cole,
in a
but
Travis
Lil-
Scott.
Lil Baby,
like,
maybe like the first
yeah,
line.
but it's like
First
it's
line.
on the first line, like right after that, and that's good for those type of artists. I think that's like the biggest thing. Honestly, like when we talk about modern runs, I think that's a big part of it too. Looking at the size of people's names when they like,
That's actually like that.
That let you know if you made it.
like I ain't gonna lie, like I like artists not be like, yo, like is Benny the Butcher gonna be there? How big is Benny's name? I'm never gonna go to a Griselda concert.
You can say Griselda
Freddie
was on
Gibson.
a run. You can say
Yeah, they are.
Yes, you're
Freddie
right.
Gibson might be an example of nigga.
You can
Freddie
say
He been out
Freddie
Freddie
Gibson,
Gibson, whatever.
Freddie
He been out
Freddie-
for
Freddie-
actually Freddie Gibbs wasn't on
Yeah.
everybody's shit though.
No, but he's right. He's
been out for a
on.
long
He's
time.
on. He's on a
He's
run.
been out for a long
He was
time.
on a freshman list. Like, maybe like 2009.
He's been around. Longevity wise, he's been out for a while.
And that's what I'm about to say. You're right. Freddie Gibbs, technically speaking, like based on the Grammy nomination, he actually is on the run right now, and even like features and that type of stuff, and albums. Like Alfredo was one of the best albums that came out last year. I still listen to that. It's just one of those things where it's like the run has changed so much, and it doesn't have to be like offensive. Like it doesn't have to mean anything. Like people who love artists, like, oh, your favorite artist just blew up. It's like that nigga hit his stride. Shit, it don't matter if you hit it when you're old. 2 Chainz ain't gonna run till he was like 36.
Fact.
And
And he changed his name.
And changed his name. Titty Boy. Titty Boy wasn't
Pooh
marketable.
Shiesty is on the top line on the first day of
I
Rolling
forgot
Loud.
about Pooh Shiesty.
He's on a run
I'm
again.
not gonna say he's on a run.
No, he's not a run.
I'm not gonna say
Did his album wasn't that like number 1 or
I
something?
don't know.
This doesn't-
He's
nah.
not ready yet.
But we gotta go back to what a run is.
It's only
That's why
It's a
hard.
difference
Like,
between
like,
it's a difference between like having a good album and being on a run. You can have a good album and not
But
be
what
on
if
a
you
run.
also permeate
Pooh
the
Shiesty only
culture
got
of that
one,
big-
but Pooh
Oh, that's
Shiesty-
the hell these niggas doing.
Motherfucking Pooh Shiesty only got one song that nigga.
Hey.
Exactly.
That's the future. That's the future.
Even two hit singles don't really count as a run to me.
Right.
I would just argue he might be on his way. Because like I never heard of him and all of a sudden he's
That's
everywhere.
because Black and
Maybe,
Blood is
maybe.
so fucking good. That's the only problem.
That's all.
I don't even know.
That song's
It's
amazing.
a good song.
It was alright.
I
They
feel
played
like
that
I'm
in
shooting
the
around with my fucking
I'll
strap. I got my
Yeah,
Draco.
Moneybagg Yo is on the second line, but Rap Future's at the top.
Would have never been on that line
Yeah.
like 2 years ago. And that's just facts.
Yeah.
He blew up.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. Fucking Playboy Cardi, A Boogie, Don Toliver, Lil Durk, and Nav.
Playboy Cardi.
Well, Nav is
I didn't think that.
Lil
Is
Durk,
Nav
I
big?
People like
I don't like
the
that.
kids like Nav.
Okay.
I love that.
He ain't going no run
The
though.
kids like Nav.
Nav ain't going no run though.
Nav is literally the nigga that just be.
Now Ruby Rose
the
is on
nigga
the
that-
third line, and
She's a rapper.
Is she just gonna show her
She's
ass?
a touchy mother.
She the one with the deeper
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Is she just gonna show her ass all the time?
I guess so.
Call
that was my other
One of the
hot take
Rays
that I
on the
said
second line with NLE Choppa.
She ain't been on no run.
I
That's
like
not a
NLE
run.
Oh
Choppa.
wow, okay, this is a little disrespectful.
Wait,
On Saturday, Soulja Boy on the second line.
He
Okay.
ain't put out shit.
I don't know, J. Cole. I mean, Soulja Boy should be.
Soulja's doing hits? If Soulja's doing hits, he fine.
He got a song out.
I
Bro,
don't give a damn.
I don't
about that.
know
what you're
who-
talking about.
bro.
That song is good. But
I don't
it's
know
old
who
ones, to be honest.
OGZ is, but OGZ is on the line above
Oh
Soulja
my
Boy.
gosh.
Who is OGZ?
I don't give a fuck about none of these factory niggas.
Yes, you do.
Lil Tecca is above Soulja
I like
Boy.
Lil Tecca though.
I knew he was gonna say that. And
I
that's
got
it.
back, but you
Jack Harlow is above Soulja Boy. That's racist.
Nah, it's not Lil Tecca.
Right, Jack-
Lil Tecca
Jack
got
Harlow
some
was
What's
shit.
still second?
Lil Tecca
Is
don't
Jack
have no.
Harlow- is
He
Jack
don't have
Harlow
no
the Tyler
like.
Hero?
He's
Like,
still
Tyler
underground.
Hero's a good player.
Yeah.
God.
Lil Tecca's still underground right now. But
I heard.
Is it? Well, he's on the first
Lil Tecca don't
line.
have no mainstream song yet.
He did though. Let me see.
He's not on. He's not. I got black. I got white.
I'll be honest with you, I don't even know who Lil Tecca is.
I've seen him.
We
before.
like
Ransom. Yeah, that was him.
Right.
That was Juice WRLD.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's it?
It's him and Juice WRLD.
I know. I think I seen that video.
Is he the one I pop out in a party? I'm with your gang. It's the type of chain.
No.
He's the one who said, "I got black, I got white, but you
Oh, I didn't know Lil Tecca.
and Juice WRLD."
What
Is
is
he
he?
from New York?
This is the
don't know.
Rolling Loud lineup.
Okay.
All right.
Miami?
Yeah, it's in Miami. But
That's how we can kind of see it these days. We know who's big by the size of your name, big dog.
I can't just look at album sales. I feel like
Album sales
No,
don't
I don't
matter
think it's
anymore.
ever. I don't think it's ever been just album because you can have like an amazing album and not be on a run. To me, I think a
albums
run
really-
is you have a.
bro, you can't. I don't
Back when
think
there was hard covers, niggas
Yeah,
really
you
got
had
to rock
to-
with you to buy
to
that
buy
album,
the album.
man.
No, yeah, I think
I'm
usually.
spending my hard-earned cash,
Yeah.
bro.
You like, bro,
I
like,
bootleg
I'm
that
spending
shit.
$12.99 at Sam Goody to get
Nah, but
my
it's some
album.
people-
I went to Circuit City, drove my car, spent my gas to go.
Bro,
back.
you were driving with
But even like when Jay-Z was like running this shit, like it was undisputed. Like he wasn't on everybody's single. It was like he was at that level where like it was that once a year or once every 2 years. Oh shit, Jay-Z's about to put out an album. Like he just that album might have been great, but that doesn't mean he was like on a run. I don't think a great album
What do you
equivalent.
mean?
Like-
Every album he put out would go #1 though.
No, but I don't think a great album equals a run. To me, a run is like
Well, you're talking
literally
about you're
everywhere.
talking about great album critically or sales. We're talking about if your album is #1, and niggas are buying your album, which means back then black and white people were buying your album. You're on a run.
No, I don't think that's a run though. A run to me is like literally like going back to my classic definition of a run is Lil Wayne's run up until like he released Carter 3. He for that whole year plus
Okay, but
he was on that or like even some people can have a run for a summer. Like Fetty Wap had a run for a summer. T-Pain.
So why do you
had
bring up
runs for a
Jay-Z
summer.
then?
Shreddy
He's
Dead
had-
James.
No, I'm saying because Jay-Z's definitely
One
had a run.
song.
I'm not saying Jay-Z's never
okay.
had a run. I'm saying like
there
once Jay-Z reached a
There
certain
was,
point in his
like,
career,
Cha-Cha Slide.
he didn't have to put out
Still
songs like every month. Like he can Jay-Z can put out an album once every year or something or like.
Oh, you're
once every
talking about like post retirement.
McCollum.
Okay, before that, like
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
No, I'm saying Jay-Z definitely on a run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Why the fuck you guys talking about McConan? How do
We
we
talking about a run.
He had-
about fucking Jay-Z?
McConan had a summer
We're
run.
thinking about- we're thinking
McConan
about
had a
Dave.
summer
We're
run.
thinking about Dave
Going
Chappelle.
up.
Yeah, people can have a summer run.
Now that's the Drake effect.
I don't know if McConan had a run.
Drake-
I like McConan.
We
I
got
like
a
McConan.
summer-
We should talk about the Drake effect.
What's the Drake?
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. JB Block Boy.
Migos cashed
Lil
out.
Baby.
Migos.
Lil Baby.
Migos a little baby.
No, no, no,
cashed
no,
out.
listen,
21 Savage
listen.
like.
Look, Drake literally put niggas on. Either they fizzle or they go. Like JB Block Boy.
Bro, everybody we just
Obi.
talked about got the Drake effect.
Little Baby, 21, Migos, they all cashed out on that.
Bro, I'm pretty sure the
Yeah,
first.
Versace.
I'm pretty sure the first Moneybagg Yo song I heard had Drake on it. I listened to it because
they've
Drake.
never
I'm
done a song.
pretty. They have it.
He been on with J. Cole, which is
Maybe.
surprising.
Okay.
You never done a song.
I thought
I
they did.
can't
My
say-
bad.
I
They
can't
might
say
have.
your name.
But
He hasn't done
anyway,
anything
yes.
with the baby either. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, we should do a song with the Drake effect.
That's because the flow would not work. Nigga, them two.
I mean,
The baby
It's
and
Drake match anybody
Drake
for.
match anybody. It's Drake. Just put him on the song.
Nigga, the
together.
baby will change his flow for Drake. let's get that straight. If Drake said, "Yo, let's do a track," the baby would be sitting there like, "Oh, I can't do it." Duh.
Yeah.
He would change all of it.
No, Drake would just do his verse like the baby does his. That's what Drake does. Drake just match his style to the person he's doing.
Just like
yeah,
I did.
JB Block Boy and him definitely had.
Oh, we definitely disrespected the Migos when we said Future because I think
Migos definitely had a
run.
run.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but
that
Future, I think Future's run was bigger than theirs. I think.
Migos,
Only because it was just him by himself.
Future's run is still going on.
to be fair,
Because if Future put out an album tomorrow,
Migos,
I'll be the
Migos.
first nigga in line.
let's just
Migos just put out
let's-
Straightening, and niggas just like,
fair
what
enough.
the
Fair
fuck
enough.
is this?
But wait, let's also
Okay, man, hold on.
Offset and Quavo
right.
became icons.
The
yeah.
last two Future albums, I don't know if they was popping like that. Like
What?
which two?
Nigga, I will.
Oh, I-
slap
I-
shit
I-
out of
I'm
you.
not saying they weren't good.
You
I'm not
can
saying.
resist the Wizard.
But you're
is a
saying-
fucking great album.
Were people
I swear to God.
people
Who's the other
going
one?
crazy?
Who's the other one before the
Were
Wizard?
people going crazy for those
What's
albums?
the other one?
Was it Hendrick?
Hold on.
No.
I
Was
think
it,
it was you of the two.
was it the drum with shotgun on it? The grand-
Hendrick, and then there was the Future presents the Wizard.
Hendrix is the best Future album there is.
That's what I'm saying.
but
And
that's
that's
my
the nigga
personal-
Bro, I'm not. That's
But-
what I'm talking
but
about.
I
But
was-
two albums since there.
Oh, what I was actually gonna
That's-
say, what I was actually gonna say in terms of runs, The Migos were allowed to do what's that song? Is it Chopsticks or
Stir fry.
It's-
Oh,
yeah,
Save
so
Me.
like-
Save Me
Oh,
too.
okay, cool.
Save Me was fucking good too.
Bro,
Yeah,
who was talking about these albums?
The Migos did a, the
Niggas
Migos,
talking about Future, Hendrix,
wait,
Wizard.
Migos did a song about stirring up
Yeah,
crack
yeah.
on Nickelodeon. Like, I mean, like that's pretty.
What is on High Off Life?
big.
Come on, Malik.
Nigga.
I actually like songs. Actually, I see the cover. I just like.
Oh, Trapped in the Sun's a good song.
Trapped in the
Yeah,
Sun.
There's a good
that
song.
album was
But
nice.
like,
I Take
I'm not saying.
Solitaires.
Oh, sorry,
I'm not
Aaron
saying it's
talking.
a
Bonded
bad.
shoes.
I'm not saying it's a bad album. You just.
Accepting my flaws. I can't. I snap.
All right, bro. You're talking deep tracks.
Life is good.
Drips off Eminem's show was a great fucking song. I loved. Like, come on, stop,
Bro, you're arguing with a stand.
bro. Like,
Life is good. Not a great song.
okay. Guys, you just said.
Not a good
That was a
song.
cash.
No, it wasn't.
That was a cash grab.
Can I just catch
It wasn't
talk?
on the album.
Can
Not
I
on
talk?
the
Can I talk, please?
Go ahead. Aaron.
All I'm
Try
saying
to-
is you just disrespecting the
Lord
Migos.
Future.
Like nobody was paying attention to the Migos. Their last. He just said that. Your last triple song. You just said
No,
nobody
I don't
was
like
worried
Straight
about
Nigga.
them.
I don't think anybody.
My point was those songs weren't as popular, but what popular song is Future released recently? They're like big
Detroit with
songs.
Moneybag Yo.
harder for the next.
Yeah.
That's Moneybag song.
I don't even know what song.
But that's but to me that's a part of the run. If you're on
Fair,
features
fair,
like
fair.
that, like
And he made the
Whoa,
song better.
okay.
Life is
Wait,
Good
hold
came
on,
out
hold
last
on,
year.
hold
Like,
on,
come on,
okay.
man.
I don't understand.
My point is you were just discrediting the Migos, and I think they both declined the same way Future is. But they're not like a big decline.
I
They're
don't
not as
think-
popular as they are.
No, Migos declined more than Future.
Migos declined one because they weren't always in your fucking face because they decided to all do something different. Future literally just puts music out and niggas just listen
Bro,
to it.
he
The
put-
nigga-
he
42
put-
Doug's album, like Maybach.
Bro, you're talking about 42 Doug. Come on.
because of
Part of the
Future.
run.
That's
Part
not-
of the run.
That's
That's what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck about
Oh,
42
you
Doug.
saying Future was on 42 Days?
Bro,
Maybach.
Future is not on a run right now. What are we
Oh,
talking
no,
about?
Oh, yeah,
he's not on the
fair,
run.
fair, fair,
No, but he hasn't.
I'm just, bro,
He hasn't stopped though. He hasn't stopped.
He is on a run because if he puts on a fucking song, we'll listen to it. That's a run to me.
Not saying we. That's not true.
I would listen to it,
But
but
like, Future hasn't been on a run
Yeah,
since
yeah.
Thank
2017,
you.
bro.
Are you smoking, bro?
When
Like,
Hendrix
who the
came
fuck
out.
knows
A
this
run?
Future like this, bro.
I'm not disrespecting him.
Future-
Bro, I will listen to
No, makes
anything
sense,
this nigga
makes
puts
sense.
out because he's fucking Future.
But
Like, even if
he's
he's
right.
but-
He's right though. That was when the
You're
run
a
stopped.
super fan.
That was when the run stopped, but he hasn't stopped making music. The Migos
Oh,
have.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
fair
difference.
enough, fair enough,
That's the
fair
difference.
I still like songs on these albums. I'm just saying they're not Dirty Sprite. They're not Beast Mode. They're just cool. They're there.
And this
Yeah,
is a bad comparison, but it's the same way. Like when Drake had like a whole year when he was on everybody's thing, like it came to a point where he was only doing the albums. Like it wasn't like he wasn't on everybody's song. That like he wasn't on the run.
These
but he still
Future
got
albums are the equivalent of what you said about the Dark Side demos. Like, they're cool.
Yeah,
I like
like
songs
that's
on them.
the same thing,
Yeah,
but it's not a run.
Nigga,
though.
Lord Vader.
This man
Lord
really
Vader.
got mad about. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad.
This man loves his toxic.
Aaron, I like this shit,
He's-
bro.
Bro, I like songs on all those albums.
No, put this shit in the phone landing, man. Go ahead, because I'm fucking crashing.
You already upset when we talked about Moneybag Yo.
Alright,
He felt
sorry.
that we didn't like Yo.
We didn't like him enough. All right, man. That was a hell of a debate. Thank you, gentlemen. It's your man, Shut Up Cole here from the beautiful Ville Studios. We got a lot of fun things planned on the horizon. Be on the lookout. Respond. Damn, we didn't get to any of the people's the polls people said.
Yeah,
That's
60% of people said that album's still important. As we discussed today, they kind of are, kind of aren't.
Let's
64.
I think we determined they're not, but I mean, hey, please keep responding to our polls.
When they say who's on the run, they said Lil Baby and Moneybag. So
Yeah, so
That coincides with what?
you keep responding to the polls. Subscribe to YouTube, Twitter,
Spotify,
Spotify,
iTunes,
Instagram,
Podcast.
Facebook. Oh,
Oh,
shit. We don't got
Spotify.
Facebook.
Bottom
SoundCloud.
That's not alright.
SoundCloud, all that shit. Just
Beat
keep
myself.
supporting.
I'm
Tell
gonna
us.
continue this guy.
You got like 5 beatbox.
I ain't fucking done. It's like
All right, tell us. Tell us what you want to hear, what you want to see in future episodes. We got a lot of cool things planned we can't talk about just yet, but should be exciting. Hentations.
Yeah, it's your man's I'm Willie DW here. Thanks for staying through this whole episode. We all over the place right now.
Hey, it's your boy Malik, aka that big geek nigga. I'm about to force choke this nigga.
And it's your boy Darian, aka Clark Kent, and these are the Hentations.
Damn, that's smooth.